What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. Yesterday, I went 2-0 in college basketball. I went 4-4 in NBA. So overall, it was a profitable day. Um, and try to make it another profitable day here today. I'm disappointed, though. I will say that I like some props later in the day that I didn't add. I talked about them on a couple other shows, but didn't add them. Still a profitable day. Vino, how was your day yesterday? How you doing today?
I am good today, Skee. Yesterday was the opposite of the day before. The day before, I had a really good NBA day, not a great college day. Yes, I had a great college day, 3-0. But the NBA was 0-2. So 3-2 overall. We made some money again, back to back 3-2s. We'll take it. But it's been reversed 2 days in a row now. One sport good, the other sport not so good. We'll see what we can do with this NBA tonight.
All right, let's get to it. We have 5 games on the slate. The first one is Boston and Washington. Opened up 10.5, looks like 10. Total came down from 234, seeing it as low as 231. And let me just get over to the injuries and actually hit refresh here. We know Jalen Brown is out. For the Wizards, no Sar, no Kispert, Trey Johnson, Bilal, Cooper, all out. So I don't know. First thing that comes to my mind here, Vino, is a lot of it's going to be a lot of easy baskets for this Celtics team. For one, not a whole lot of rim protection without Alex Sarr there. So maybe Nemias, maybe doing his points and rebounds. I could see that being a look. Outside of that, it's tough. I mean, Bagley rebounds just because he has to probably play a lot in this game. Not a whole lot that I love here. Anything you like in Boston and Washington?
Yeah, I tried to talk myself into Celtics team total over Ski, but I can't do it. They've been scoring lately. I know I liked it the other night against the Knicks. They got to 123. The offense has been picking up really good, but Jalen Brown, that's a sore spot when it comes to scoring points. Boston team total, for what it's worth, is 5-0 over the last 5 games. So they've been on a scoring tear here. And Washington, it's not the most difficult defense to score against. Had Milwaukee in that situation the other night, and even though Milwaukee lost, they did get over their team total. Boston 5-0, straight up last 5-4-1 against the spread. So they've been playing good basketball. The number kind of scared me off. I don't know why. To ask an opponent to get to 121 against Washington is really not that much to ask. But again, no, Jalen Brown sort of backed me up a little bit. Boston will be launching threes no matter what. Washington will give up threes, but I just couldn't get there. I don't know. I can't put any real conviction behind this Boston team total.
Well, I'll mention that. And actually, before I forget, Saturated says, "What's up with the vertical layout?" I think there's two streams now. So there's a vertical one, and then there's one that's not, I
Oh, okay.
believe, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe yeah, I think that's how it goes. Um, this Celtics team plays the Lakers tomorrow. Maybe that's a reason that they hold back a little bit some tonight. I mean, maybe if you like them to score, you take them first half team total. You're already without Jalen Brown, but if they're up by margin in this game, they're going to take out some of those key guys. So first half team total probably for the Celtics, or bet the Celtics early if you like them. Saturated also said that the Celtics been playing a lot of games lately. They have fourth game in 6 nights, also first of a back to back. So they absolutely have. Wizards also playing their third and four, and they did get blown out by the Celtics team once before. So at home, could get a pretty good effort from Washington here. I don't know, the Celtics defense haven't been looking good lately. They're the third worst defensive rated team last 5 games. We talked about how good the offense is. Maybe the Wizards will be able to keep it respectable here. I mean, I always say you can't lay can't expect teams to win by big margins when you can't trust them to get stops. So maybe it's a little bit of Wizards on the ATS. Anything else you'd like to add before we move on?
Well, if we look that direction, Ski, you could look toward Wizard team total at 110.5. Maybe they get to 111. It's interesting, the game total itself down to 231 simply based on Jalen Brown. Does that mean there's going to be any more defense in this game? No. Does it mean there'll be no more offense? Probably not on the Boston side, but on the Washington side, there could be. So you mentioned how many, you mentioned points at the rim could be easy too. I guess there's a lot of ways to look at it. I just can't convince myself of any of them.
All right, and there's WagerTalk coming in saying there's a vertical and horizontal feed. This is optimized for YouTube Shorts. Head to our live video page to get the desktop feed. So,
Hmm.
different ways to watch the show today, and maybe going forward as well. Mark, appreciate you tapping in. I think I got to get. Yeah, I feel like I have to push the button on this dirty, dirty dog here. Um, I'm looking at a little bit more. Yeah, I'm gonna think about it a little bit longer, but actually, those tens are starting to go away. I mean, open 10.5, 10 starting to go away. Everybody's betting the Celtics, and this line is coming down with this terrible defense on the front of a back-to-back playing their fourth in 6 days. I feel like I have to do it, Vino. I came to the show today. I told you I have my wallet open.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna hold up the show for just a second, but maybe while you break down the next game, I'll get down on that 10 for the Wizards. All right. And I heard you say the team total. Let me just glance at that just before I make my final decision. Sorry for you guys if you feel I'm holding up the show, but hey, we make bets on this show. And sometimes it takes a minute. 110.5.
It's
Seems
not a
very
lot.
doable. Yeah, seems
Mhm.
very doable. All right. Next game up, we will go to Wizards and Sixers. Opened up -4. Looks like 2.5 or 3. Total open 221.5. And all the way up to, or not all the way up, but went up a point and a half to 223. As far as injuries are concerned here, a lot of them. You have Embiid questionable, PG, Oubre, and Watford all out. For the Warriors, Tuhey, Curry out, Post, Kaminga, Jackson Davis, Horford, Butler all questionable. I mean, what are we doing? It's too many question marks for me with this Golden State team. Um, if you do get Jimmy out there, I feel like he can cause Maxi a little bit of trouble in the half court. This is probably the game that I'm least likely to bet tonight. I'll say I'm not interested in laying with Philadelphia. I just don't really trust them. Maybe we can expect points here. I mean, I'm gonna pass it to you while I look up a couple of things. But how you feeling about Golden State and Philly?
First thing I'll say is, I don't generally play player props at all. But first glance to me would be Embiid or Drummond, somebody's rebounds against the team that's going to start Draymond at the 5 tonight. Philadelphia should be able to control the glass in some way, shape, or form. Al Horford probably plays here, I would think. But still, the amount of minutes he's going to play, I don't know. If I were looking at player props, I'd probably look to one of the big guys for Philly to grab a number over their required number of rebounds tonight. As far as the game itself goes, again, it gets repetitive from me, but I do know that Philadelphia loves to get up and down. And whether Embiid is in this game or not, whether Drummond is in this game or not, they're gonna with Maxey and Edgecombe, they're gonna get up and down. If they had Kelly Oubre, it would be even better. But Justin Edwards is a guy that runs with them. So that being said, Golden State running their small lineup out there, you would expect 94 feet of basketball here back and forth. And the total really isn't that low or that high, excuse me. And with all the potential absences, Ski, it is kind of interesting that the total has gone up 221.5 to 223 now. So people kind of seeing it the way I'm laying it out, where we're probably going to get the requisite number of opportunities to get an over Philadelphia's certainly going to get theirs. Golden State's going to get theirs. I know Steph's not involved, but Golden State has scores. They showed the other night against OKC. I know it was at home. They did get to 112. There's a cross-country flight to, talk about here. I mean, that the way that the NBA has lined up their Tuesday nights now, and they play that game extremely late. Even on the West Coast, an 8:10 start is late for a basketball team. Generally, it's a 7:30 or 7:40. An 8:10 start, play the game against OKC, get on the plane, fly across country to Philly. Maybe that could take a little something out of the defensive legs of Golden State. But if I were to play this one, I think I would look over. Again, if Philadelphia, much like not the same way that Miami does, but much like Miami, they have some young legs that like to run the floor. I might look over 223. It looks like I'm trying to get a good look at the live odds now. It looks like there are some 223 and a halves starting to show up now. So it's been pushed up continually throughout the day.
I'm gonna leave this one to you here, Vino. Some people are liking that over. Casey coming in says if Jimmy's out, the Warriors getting spanked. That's her team right there. I think this
You
is
know
one
what's
that
funny? I'm going to get, I should have said this right off the bat, Skee. But of all the players to speak up for Golden State, it's kind of funny to me that Seth Curry just played his first game as a Warrior. He wants to talk now, but he said, we're going to get better over the next couple of games playing as a unit, and hopefully we'll get some wins until the main guys get back. I mean, I don't even know what to make of that. We're going to get better over the next couple of games. Hopefully we'll get some wins. I don't know. I just think this game will be fast paced, and you probably see if I had to play, I'd play over.
fair enough. I think I'm out. I'm out on this game, Vino. Next one, Lakers and Raptors. It's a lot of different ways I'm looking at this game, honestly. Um, Open -3 for the Lakers. Flip of favorites. Raptors now as high as 2.5. Total open 234.5. Drops as low as 228.5 out there. For their injury report, no Luka, no Marcus Smart. For the Raptors, Abaji, RJ Barrett, and Jakob Pertl, all out. Now, first of all, I have to mention, I talked about RJ Barrett's, him being out and how that affects the Raptors. Their defense gets a little bit better. Their offense gets a little bit worse. But without Jakob Pertl, that defense gets a lot worse for this Raptors team. And this is a Lakers team that hasn't had trouble scoring without Luka. They're 3-1 straight up NATS, all as underdogs, and 4-0 to the over without Luka so far this season. Those games did not include LeBron James. I like to think that he's not going to mess it up too much. They could still do some of what they were doing when he was out. I think the Lakers can score tonight. I think DeAndre Ayton should be able to do what he wants in the paint as far as points and rebounds. I think both of those are worth a look, or maybe just combine them, like I said there. I think that LeBron assists are worth a look. Maybe even, I don't know how to play LeBron, but I think the Lakers can score. And I think if I'm playing one person on there is DeAndre Ayton. For the Raptors, I don't like the idea of Gabe Vincent defending more than Luka Doncic, but still, the Lakers' perimeter defense is just not good. Quickly, I can see him having success. He's been scoring a lot more without RJ Barrett the past few games. At least he's figured it out. His points prop is 17.5. So either Quickly, either Ayton. Honestly, I disagree with the total coming down. We're just seeing Luka out, and they're just bringing it down just based off him. I mean, I think there's still points to be had. It's not a whole lot of pace, but matchup wise, easy baskets at the rim for the Lakers. And I guess you could look at Ingram too. I don't know who's guarding Ingram out there tonight. I don't know who's guarding Quickly either. I think the over is the play, as well as the props. What do you think, Vino?
I talk about it a lot over the course of the last 4 or 5 years, Skee. These injury chasers that make these giant moves in the line or create these giant moves in the line. that actually work out to our benefit when you can use reverse logic against it, right? You just laid out the case for points. I thought the same way. It's going to automatically come down just off the fact that Luka's out. You're going to see a total move. This total move happens to go from 234 to 228.5. Now, at that point, you stop and ask yourself, can they still get the 229 without Luka on the floor? And I think the answer is yes. Toronto the other night against Portland played with a little bit of pace, 239, that final hit. They played Charlotte a couple of games ago, 229. Toronto's defense, last 3 games, 118, 116, 118 allowed. Lakers team total is 113 tonight. But I think even further than that, you said it earlier, that without Pirtle at the rim, and it's interesting that Toronto really doesn't have a backup center, so to speak, that plays any type of defense. So they're apt to play a lot quicker style here, give up a few more at the rim. I just think that this is one of those instances where an injury happens, money follows the injury, and pushes it in a direction where you can capitalize by going the other way. Just a little bit of different thinking here. Matchups you described, I won't go into them, but there's plenty of guys that have matchups that they can exploit here. Seems like a low number, Skee, actually, to me, 228.5 at this point, 234. It could have stayed there, and I might have still considered over a little bit, but at this number, I think I really have to consider over. And maybe Laker team, like I say, 113 is not a lot to ask of the Lakers.
One last thing I'm thinking about here is, maybe there's reason to also consider first half over. The number is shaded towards the first half over. It opened 116.5, Rob Veno. The first half over is going up. The full game is coming down. It went from 116.5. I'm seeing 117s out there. I'm seeing one shot or a couple shops 117.5. I mean, I did say the Lakers play the Celtics tomorrow. I mean, obviously they're saving Luka for that game. They think they can still possibly win this game without Luka. But if the Lakers are up, I mean, if the Lakers are down, they're probably going to pack it in the second half. That's what I'm saying. So first half, I mean, that just stands out to me. First half going up, full game coming down. Maybe there's reason to jump in and just cut it in half. Any thoughts, Vino?
Yeah, we're trying to read between the lines here and see if the odds maker's telling us a little something on this one.
I feel like they are.
Yeah. I mean, it's a weird occurrence when full game goes down and first half goes up. I mean, you double the first half, 117.5 becomes 235, and you're staring at 228.5 for full game. So you're absolutely right. Opposite movement on both of those. So could be. Go ahead.
The Raptors also play tomorrow. So that's it, it's first half for me. It makes sense. Logic school.
Building, yeah.
Both teams play tomorrow. If either team is getting a little spank, they're going to pack it in and save their energy for the next game. So expect the points early, first half in this game. If it gets out of hand, hey, you've already gotten paid by halftime, hopefully. So first half, 117. Go ahead and mark that on my list there.
Go ahead. Open the wallet. We got time. Go ahead.
B-Man says, Vino in the hoodie, we cashing today.
B-Man, I am freezing here in Southeast Pennsylvania. I woke up this morning, it was 11 degrees. I mean, yeah, we have heat in the house, but I'm telling you what, the office, the home office is on an outside wall. And even with the heat on, man, I was freezing in here today. So I said, you know what? I felt like telling Johnny Detroit, do you mind if I come in a hoodie today? Because I never do. But I just went right above the brass and made my own decision. So here I am.
Hey, it's starting to get a little chilly in Vegas, but nothing like what you're dealing with, I imagine. So I'll enjoy my t-shirt for now. Next game up, we have Utah and Brooklyn. And I feel like this line move makes I say that, and then I'm like 2.5 to 5. Yeah, it makes sense because 2.5, I feel like was cheap to offer Utah with the situational spot. But yeah, we did see a move there. Total came down from 232 as low as 230.5. As far as injuries, Nurkic is questionable. Love is out. Niang is out. Man is probable. Highsmith out. MPJ out. Powell out. Cam Thomas out. Um, Let me get to the situationals. I do have a lot of opinions here on this one. For the Jazz, they do have 2 days off. It is also the first of a back to back for them. But having those 2 days off definitely is huge. For the Nets, second of a back to back, third and four, fifth and seven, go on and on. Not a good spot for them. Not only that, I mean, this Nets team is, I feel like they've been struggling to score. They've gone under in five straight. The couple games that I can remember off the top of my head without MPJ, one game they didn't touch 100 for sure. The other one they maybe had like 102, 103, something like that. This total still feels a bit high. Now, with that said, this Jazz defense has been ass lately, Rob. They have not been good. Um, is the Nets offense going to be that bad to where they won't be able to take advantage of the Jazz defense? It's a very real possibility. The Nets also playing at the third slowest pace the last 5 games. And we've seen a lot this year too, right? The Jazz at home, one different team than the Jazz on the road. 6-2 to the under on the road. I'm thinking it does make sense for the move from 2.5 to 5 for the Jazz, but now I just don't necessarily like the thought of laying that price with the Jazz. I think under you can still get 231.5 at a couple shops right now, a few shops right now. I feel like that could be the move, Rob Veno. It's either that or the Jazz for me. How do you feel about this one?
Yeah, it was the Jazz for me until I just can't lay 5.5 with them, and I missed the boat on 2.5. So, but absolutely, where the under is concerned, we've talked a lot about Brooklyn unders. We've talked a lot about what you just mentioned, Utah's dichotomy, the discrepancy between what they score at home and what they score on the road. Even with rest, they just don't score on the road. Their team total is 118.5. Are they really going to get to 120 in this game against Brooklyn? I'm not sure. It will be slowed down by Brooklyn. No MPJ. That helps full game total down. I could see it one of those two ways, Skee. Honestly, I could see either playing the Utah team total under 118.5 or the full game under. And at that point, you probably say, well, why wouldn't you just play Brooklyn team total under 113.5? How are they going to get there? So I think when you add all that up, A, B, and C, the most logical play is to keep this one under 231.5. I could see it landing somewhere in the 222, 223 range. So to me, that's the best play in this game. I think it works out real well situationally and personnel wise, who's going to be on the floor. They played once before. It hit 220. Oh, no. They didn't play once before. Excuse me. Not this season. I was going to quote a score from last season. Nothing this year.
I'm looking. Man, I do think that Brooklyn team total. I mean, the one thing I just want to make sure is Brooklyn's defense has been okay lately, though. Or do we really want to exclude their defense? I'm just gonna pull up real quick. The Jazz at home has been more of their offense just falling off. Yeah, they're the second worst offensive rated team on the road so far this season. Um, so that's tough, Maybe it is just the under. Maybe I'm overthinking this one here.
It's funny that price, Skee, at 231.5 almost indicated like that should be a number when they're playing an opponent, Brooklyn playing an opponent that can score, because you don't expect Brooklyn to score much. You know what I mean? And they played Houston just recently with a 234.5 number. And now Utah 231.5. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And even with Houston, Brooklyn couldn't get over. That game landed 230. They gave up 129 points. Just seems real high in a Brooklyn game for starters and in a game where Utah's involved on the road.
All right. And B-Man says, what about Nets without MPJ? Yeah, I couldn't pull up the specifics, but like I did talk about it already. And yeah, they've definitely been struggling to score. Um, yeah, I'm gonna think about it a little bit more, but I'm definitely some way, shape, or form, some kind of fade of the Nets and some kind of under one of the two. Last up here today in the association, Vino, we have Wolves and Pelicans. This one open minus 11 and a half. I'm sorry, open minus 12. It looks like 11 and a half. Total, not a whole lot of movement either. Injuries, nobody there for Minnesota. Same usual suspects for New Orleans. I'm gonna save the people's time, and I don't have anything on this game. So if you have anything, we'd love to hear it. Otherwise, we can talk a little bit of football.
Yeah, my initial thought was just to run it back. Generally, when teams play back to back, I like to counter punch, maybe play counter to what the first result was. But you're playing back to back here. You just played a excessively high scoring game, and I don't see why it doesn't happen again. I mean, Minnesota, they're not the same defensive team, and they seemed almost willing to let New Orleans score the other night because Minnesota knows they can outscore them. So the numbers in a place where you can still play over at 233, 233 and a half. We know the New Orleans defense is horrific. If I were to play at Skee and I didn't, I think I would just come right back with another over between these two. It just seems like that's the way this one will go.
All right, let's talk a little bit of Thursday night football. I don't have. I guess I get that banner. Put up 1 second. But Cowboys at Lions. I'm seeing. Let's take this off there. My bad. I'm seeing 3.5s now, Rob. It's been three, I believe, most of the week. We're seeing 3.5s for the Lions now. Total of 54.5. Um, I'll start off and ask just first of all, I'm trying to poke holes in the Cowboys. That's what I'm trying to do here. And they are coming off of wins versus the Chiefs, wins versus the Eagles. I mean, they allowed that struggling Eagles offense to still score 21. They allowed the Chiefs to score 28. They just outscored them. Are the Chiefs good? As much as I like Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs are not even above 500. Eagles have just been playing pretty bad the last couple of weeks. I feel like Cowboys. I don't know. Everybody's betting the Cowboys today, and the line is going towards the Lions. This is a Lions team that they lost to the Packers. They did beat the Giants, lost to the Eagles. I mean, it's a Lions team that's sitting outside of the wild card right now. This is a hungry Lions team at home, off of a loss. I mean, this is a spot where they've traditionally had success. It's very hard for me to think anything other than Lions. All of my queries and stuff like that tell me to back the Lions here today, but everybody else wants to back the Cowboys. I think I prefer to back the hungry team. How do you feel about it, Vino? Or not that the Cowboys are not hungry, but the hungry home favorite. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but I feel like it's almost an elimination game, Ski. Whichever team loses here probably doesn't have a realistic shot to make the playoffs when this is all said and done. I think the line movement that we've seen within the last 40 minutes, because these numbers were not 3.5 and 54.5 a little bit ago. They were 3 and 54. Each has gone up side and total. My guess is that it probably correlates to somebody knowing that Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to play. If he doesn't play, I don't want any part of Detroit, especially with all these guys are probably going to play, but 4/5 of that offensive line comes into the game with questionable tags. Like I say, they'll all go. They're all banged up. Got a couple injuries on defense. Their defense has just started to erode badly. So for Detroit, I almost think the same as Dallas. You have to outscore the opponent in order to win games at this point in time. We've seen it happen to Detroit in years past, almost every year, actually, under Dan Campbell. The defense can't stop anybody, but the offense covers it up for them. So in this instance, I would prefer team totals. I wouldn't argue anybody off of playing full game total. But right now, I don't see anybody stopping Dallas from scoring. I really don't. Detroit on the Detroit side, I think, and this is just me trying to be head coach here behind a microphone. I think what they're going to try to do is run the football. Honestly, if St. Brown is that banged up, I think they're going to try and run, but the offensive line is banged up, like I mentioned. So I don't have a ton of faith in them getting to 28, but I do have faith Dallas gets above 24.5 here. They just score on everybody. It doesn't matter. Um, their receiving core is as good as any in the game. They've gotten a little bit of a ground game going now. So I didn't play it. I'm glad actually that I held off at the start of the week from playing this because the more I looked at it the past 2-3 days, the more I think Dallas team total over is the way to go.
Right, like in that Cowboys side, I think there could be a lot of points scored in this game. Um, Cowboys first half over continues to be a wagon. What is the first half number today?
Yeah, they're like
Probably
11 and 1
20.
over.
Yep, probably 28 and a half or something. 27. 27. Mm, maybe first half over in this game as well. Um, yeah, I'll think about that. But I do like the Lions for this one. So that will wrap it up for today. Moving on over to before we get to best bets, let's see what we can put up for today. Thursday. And this looks like I don't know, things are throwing off a little bit with the new stream we're doing there. So Vino, I think this should be okay. A Weekend Warrior, we still have that. You can get every play for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday for only $49. Includes 5% plays. We also have the same thing going for basketball. It's 3 days of NBA and college basketball for only $49. And if you want to go a little bit longer term, or a lot longer term actually, you can go for a 1 year pass. You'll get $500 off. Comes out to just $125 a month. And let's say you purchase Rob Veno for a year, you'll get a 25% bonus coupon. You can come check out some of my stuff as well. So a lot of different things that you can take advantage of. Vino, we'll move it over to best bets. If there's anything else you'd like to promote, feel free. And if you don't have a best bet, it's okay as well.
Yeah, I'm going to just quickly promote something that I don't often do on this show, Skee. But for those who watch a lot of Wager Talk TV, who catch Skee's show on this channel, um, we're up bright and early in the morning, 10 a.m. You can get the college basketball show, which I'm a part of every single day, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., 60 minutes. We go over as many games as we can. It's usually a feature game or two, and then the chat. It's open to the chat to select games, and we'll just talk about them at random, give you what we know on each. So if you're into college hoop as well, 10 a.m. to 11 a.m., the show is called Full Court Press. Myself, Brian Power, and Adam Trigger. Um, boy, I hate when I have to do this, but I can't leave a best bet here today, Skee. I came on before the show talking to you, and I said, I absolutely hate this card in the NBA, and I can't find a good reason to suggest a best bet. There's a couple of things I might get to personally for a small amount, but as we speak right now, I don't really like anything enough. The NFL game, if I had to, I'd be playing like I said, the Dallas Cowboys team total over. But for today, I'll take a pass on the best bet.
Well, that's okay, Vino. I am actually opening up that wallet right now,
There
and I'm
we go.
putting in two bets for the both of us. How about
Okay.
that? So, place bet, and we are good. So, best bets for today, and before I get my best bet, I will mention college basketball has been pretty nice start for myself. I am 14-5, so hopefully we can keep some of that magic going. Haven't been betting every day, but the bets I have been making have been doing pretty well. Best bets for the show. Two, because one, I didn't give one yesterday, and we're going to give one as well for Rob today. First off, we're going with the dirty dog. And those 10s, I mean, it looks like they could go away, but Boston running up a back to back. What is it? Fourth and 6 nights for them. And they play the Lakers tomorrow. That's without Jaylen Brown tonight. Um, Clearly, you know which game they care more about. Um, Also, Boston's defense has just been so horrific. They're the third worst defensive rated team. You can't be laying double digits on the road playing defense like that. So for that reason, I'll give the Wizards plus 10. And the second one, we went to logic school. We talked about it. Both teams on the front end of a back to back, but there's a lot of matchups to take advantage of for at least the first 24 minutes. So we're going Lakers and Raptors over 117 in the first half. Those will be the two best bets for the show today. Vino, I always appreciate you taking the time to break these games down with me. We will be back again tomorrow. Maybe we'll talk some more NFL if you like, and whatever else we'll do how we usually do on Fridays. Everybody in the chat, we appreciate you guys as well. Best of luck on all your action. We'll catch you guys again tomorrow.